My name is Spongile Tipiri. I identify as black.
Moto Chisha. I identify as black.
My name's Natasha, both coloured and black.
Lorenzo Claxton. It's mixed ethnicity.
Rumbanin Ndlovu, the best word I can use is caramel.
I am the majority. It hasn't been as distinct.
I don't look the same as everybody else.
Being born in Rome as a Roman.
When the labels start getting attached.
I would get referred to as the brown person.
I was the tomato of the family.
It made me very sensitive.
That happened.
I became insecure about how I looked.
You start hearing Omwenye or Muzungu.
Okay, I'm different here.
Your passport says that you're Zambian, but all of a sudden you feel a little detached from everybody.
This is where privilege basically gets to come in.
Being light was a target on my back.
Doesn't have to be a bad thing.
Another guy that is differently colored from me.
At under 5, I knew that was not okay.
It's such a confusing thing, especially in this part of the world.
And it's still something I'm struggling with today.
Approach relationships with a lot more caution.
Do you feel pride in your shade or race?
In Zambia, you do get ostracized for being a little different. That's just, period. It's a fact, right? And so you do start to wonder, okay, do I have a right to feel proud of who I am? Or should I feel ashamed of it, right? But thankfully, with maturity, I am not just proud, I'm blessed to be part of this nation, number one, and incredibly patriotic that I am still different and still Zambian, right? Because it all boils down to what your interpretation of who you are is. So, yeah, I am definitely proud.
Yes, and I think it's more so now because how the media has now shifted in that it is trendy to be black and darker skin. So it's much easier for me to feel that sense of pride. But it hasn't always been the case, it's always been up and down and whatnot. But in general, yes, the world over allows it more, and just a sense of, like Lorenzo said, a sense of just growing up and coming more into yourself.
Now I'm proud of it, especially that it's who I am. I can't change anything about myself. Well, I could if the science got there, but I would not want to, even if the science got to that point. I think more so now because I'm starting to appreciate everyone for who they are, and I think it started with appreciating myself for who I am. Before 18, this would not be me.
So shade and race, unfortunately, is what it is. It's not something that is going to change. It's something we're going to continue noticing. With that being said, though, I am proud of who I am, not because I have a lighter skin color than anybody else or I think I'm better than anybody else. I just feel I have more to offer besides my skin color. So I am proud of who I am.
I really don't know how to answer this question because I have a question on top of that. And the question is why? Why should I feel proud about my shade of skin? Why should it be a thing that it's something that I need to feel proud about? Then that means that I'm comparing myself insecurely, probably, to something else. And I don't want to do that. The only thing that I want to be able to compare myself to is the person that I am, to the people that are around me. And so to say that I am proud of the shade of my skin, for me it is a non-entity. It's not something that creeps up on me and say, oh, you're black. Are you proud of being black? No, I'm proud of being a human being. I'm proud to be alive. I'm proud to have consciousness. I'm proud to interact with other people from different places with different minds. So the shade is not really so much, and especially probably because it's been kind of like a default for me that it's not a discussion that I've had to have with many people, Zambian people, because we are just. Are we not?
So I think where you're coming from, the premise is very important and powerful. It's a powerful state to get to. But I do think that it is also equally important to understand that we talked a lot about privilege and all of that, that there is a sense of privilege in not even being able to account the fact that you are different, or that there is something off or whatever about your shade that needs you to get to a point of pride. And I think when we look at colorism and we look at even gender, you see that, like you talked about, you're just a dark-skinned guy. For me as a woman, being a dark-skinned, if I were to be a dark-skinned woman, right, I would be at the bottom of the food chain, right? Alone being woman, being black, and then being dark-skinned, right? So I think there's a difference of perspective and what there's an expectation to be. And so I don't think that we just are, because then you are insinuating that you're born in a vacuum. And I think that that's a dangerous standpoint to be in, because then it's difficult to empathize.
Speaking of it just is, are you colorblind or colorless? Like, which category do you fall in? So just to clarify, so I guess colorblind is people who choose to not see color. Colorless are people who don't think color is a problem. Yeah. So which one do you fall in?
I recognize that there is a sense of struggle, a huge sense of struggle that I have also personally seen. But it's something that I am choosing not to feed. When you walk into the room, I notice you're light-skinned. You are lighter than me. But what does that have got to do with you? Who are you? Who are you? That's the question. And that's what I'm interested in. That when I do see someone who is a person, I'm interested in the person that they are. And I feel like that's the position that many people should take. Then we eliminate the issue of colorism, where there's prejudice and discrimination, because you are fully recognizing the container that contains you, and now somehow you're forced to behave a certain way, which is not you. So whenever are you going to bring out the you in you? If you are constantly conscious of the fact that people are perceiving you a different way. And yes, people will perceive you a different way, but psychologically you can counter that and present the person that you are. Because when you stand in the mirror, you just don't really see the color you. You feel yourself. When you sit even without a mirror, what you feel is a sense of self, aside from your physical self. There is that you that is very important. And for me, that's really what I just want to bring out. That it's not a...
Lighter is better. Actually, not just lighter, but white.
That's how I want my hair to look, that's how I want my skin to look, or to be close enough.
The lighter, the fairer, the more beautiful.
You look at white people and then you see success, you see ambition.
It shapes you. It does. Unfortunately, it happens.
For me, that's a problem.
I'm going to marry a white girl.
It's an act of defiance.
I don't know you.
The person that automatically come to mind as intelligent is the white one.
Is ridiculously complicated.
I am equal.
Black or brown is bad, then I'm bad.
That's where I'm at.
That's something that I'm proud of.
It is what it is.
Unfortunately.